Here are 7 things women want from a man. All right. 7 things that women want from you, men. All right. I want you to click the like button. If you have not, make sure you are subscribed and the notification bells are on so that you don't miss another video. We are talking everything relationships. I want to see heaven come into your love life. And, the Bible says people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And I also believe the same is true for relationships. Relationships are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So the more we know, the more we can save our relationships and we can see heaven come into our love lives. All right. So let's talk about this right now. The 7 things women want from men. Okay. According to the Bible. Number 1, women want a man to love them wholeheartedly and romantically. Every woman wants a man who's going to love them wholeheartedly and romantically. The Bible says that a husband is supposed to love their wife as Christ loved the church and gave his life for her. Okay? Every woman wants that man who's going to cherish them and make them feel like they're the most special, the most important woman in the world, that no other woman matters to them but her. Okay? And that's what she wants, that passionate affection from you, man, that you're going to give that to her, that tender compassion, all right? Make her feel like that special flower. You can do it. The romance that she's looking for, she's craving for, she's yearning for, okay? That's something that we can never get tired of doing. Okay, just because you're married now doesn't mean you stop doing the things that you did to wow her, to get her, to show her that you are in love with her and that she is your prize. Okay? Dedicate your time, okay? She wants a man that's going to be intentional about her, planning special dates, spending time with her, showering her with gifts and surprises, okay? Never losing that romance, that dedication, okay? She also wants a man that's going to provide for her financially, but also emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, okay? Spiritually is a big part. Men, God does not want you to leave your family empty spiritually. Okay? God is counting on you to be the priest of your home, the prophet of your home, and the king of your home. Don't leave all the praying up to your wife. You pray for your kids. You pray for her at night. Okay? I'm telling you, you want to see your wife fall in even more love with you? Start praying for her. Start going to God on her behalf. Man, I'm telling you, even if she's not that spiritual, she is going to be it because you're it. All right. Number 2, women want non-sexual affection. Women want non-sexual affection. It's so amazing how a woman can ask a man, can you hug me? Can you touch me? The first thing a man is going to think about is, I'm about to get some. The first thing a man's going to think about is, I'm going to score tonight. We're going to have some fun tonight. Because men, we have testosterone. And testosterone is that hormone in us that we have a sex drive that we love to have fulfilled. Women, on the other hand, they don't look at the sex as the thing that causes them to feel connected to us. They look at the affection as the thing that they need to feel connected to us. So what do I mean by that? This a man feels like if he has sex with his wife, then he feels like we connected. A woman can have sex with her husband and not feel like they connected. You see the difference? Right? Like if I was to ask the question to a woman, how would you feel if you could never have sex again with your husband? A woman might say, well, I'll probably miss it, but as long as we can still touch and we can still hug and we can still kiss, I'll be fine. But for a man, you're like asking him to not breathe again or eat, because the need for sex in a man is so much different than a woman. And that is science, okay? That is biological. However, women want to know that outside of sex, they want to still feel wanted and feel affection from their partner, all right? So women want non-sexual affection. Here's the next one. Woman wants a man to stay interested in them, or a woman wants a man to stay interested in her. A wife wants her husband to stay interested in her. And that's why, ladies, you ask this question to your man, to your fiance, your husband. Did you like my hair, or do you notice something different today? Like, you ask those questions, and for a man is like, I don't know. And for you ask those questions. The woman asks those questions to us men because they want to know that we're still paying attention to them. So they do a new hairstyle, putting a new hair color, new perfume. Do you smell the new perfume? A woman wants to know that you're still interested in her. Over the years, as time goes on, that's never going to stop. All right? So here's another one. Number 4. Woman wants open communication. Women want open communication. They want to know that you're listening to them. They want to know that they have your ear. They want to know that you're listening, and as well as they want to feel like they are also a place where you can share your heart with them. Now, because if you don't say, men, that you're not expressing yourself, or you can't express yourself to them, they're going to assume, if you're listening to them, that there's open communication, because they are being listened to. And men, we're usually real good at that. Like, because we know our wives like to talk and we really don't like to talk as much, we'll just let our wives dump all of their day experiences and everything they've gone through to just let us know that, I'm here. We'll let them talk to us. And women will feel like, man, we had a great conversation when they talked 90% of the time. And there's some men I don't mind. I'll do it. I don't really want to talk. But women also want to know that there's open communication, that if there's anything on your mind and your heart, they want to know that you're able to talk to them too. Okay? So if you really need to get something off your chest, you really need to say something to your wife with all love and respect, make sure that you are communicating with your wife, because she also needs to know from you how you're feeling emotionally. Okay? Number 5, women want emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy. Women want emotional intimacy. This comes from the power of the touch. There are 5 million physical touch receptors on our body. 5 million. And 2 million of it is right in our hands. There is healing in the touch. And emotional intimacy is oftentimes tapped in by physical connection, physical touch. So this kind of ties into the non-sexual affection, but it's important. This is why people have pets. Many times when a person feels lonely, they'll get a pet, because even the feeling of holding the touch of a pet dog or cat can bring healing to a person physically and emotionally. Okay? But emotional intimacy, sharing your needs with your partner. You want to share your emotional concerns with your partner. Don't hold back that side of you from your wife, men, because when the emotional intimacy is not there between two people and sex is involved, it can end up feeling like nothing more than domestic rape. Why? Because sex with your wife without the emotional intimacy just feels like that to her. She wants to know that you care. All right. And that emotional intimacy, I remember my wife told me not too long ago, she was like, you don't text me through the day. And for me, I felt like I wanted to save our conversations in the evening. So when you get home and we talk, I can tell you about what happened during the day. But you know what? My wife wanted me to share with her during the day what's going on, like check in with her. And that allowed her to feel that emotional connection through the day. So she couldn't wait to come home and talk to me more about what we talked about in the day. See that? So you want to develop that with your partner. And here's another thing. Men, don't assume that you know your wife. Never assume that you understand your wife. You don't. And that's one of the biggest mistakes men make, thinking that they know their wife. I know her. I know she likes. Listen, women don't even know themselves. Why do women cry when they're happy? Do you understand that? Does she even know? Women will cry and don't even know why they're crying. Guys, we don't understand women. So you always want to remain a student of your wife, and vice versa. Woman, remain a student of your husband. You don't know your spouse as well as you think you know. Trust me. I've talked to couples who've been married for over 40 years and they still are figuring their spouse out. Okay. Number 6, woman desires spiritual intimacy. Women want spiritual intimacy. Okay. It's so important that you pray together often and you pray for each other often. And you'll be surprised that a lot of the disputes and the feuds and the arguments that you all have, man, when you pray for your partner, it's very hard for you to stay mad at your partner when you're praying for them. Okay? Because you can't talk to God and ask God to heal them, bless them, do anything like that, and you're still holding on to negative animosity towards them. All right? So, but it's important that you have spiritual intimacy with one another. And finally, number 7, women want mutual submission. Yes, the S word, submission. We throw the S word around a lot, especially men. We'll say, well, the Bible says that you're supposed to submit to your husband. That's true, but hold on. The Bible didn't just only say that. You see, if you turn to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21, the Bible says that we must mutually submit to one another in the fear of God. This is the same chapter that goes on to talk about husbands loving your wives as Christ loved the church, and wives submit to your husbands as you will submit to Christ. But the beginning of the whole chapter, the beginning of that whole passage says that we ought to mutually submit to one another. So contrary to popular belief, it's not just the woman that has to submit to the husband, but the husband must also submit to the wife. Now, submission looks differently for the man than it does for the woman. Okay, a woman is who is loved properly will submit properly. Submission is your gift to your husband, right? Some wives, your submission is your gift to your husband. The willingness to obey him, to follow his instructions, to follow the things that he suggests and he puts on the table as rules for the house and for the family. You're willing to say, I'm submitting to my husband because that's my husband. His leadership, his guidance, that's what I'm submitting to. And a man is submitting to you, ladies, by his sacrificing for you, just like the Bible says. He will lay down his life for you. So a man who is working overtime just to put food on the table, who's making the sacrifice to let go of his own personal conveniences and desires to make sure you're good and the family is good. I mean, you can't talk about a greater submission than that. He's sacrificing and giving up his life for you and the family. So there's a mutual submission, there's a mutual honor, a mutual respect that we ought to both give each other as we submit to God and his wisdom and his plan for our relationship and our marriage, all right? So these are the 7 things that women want from a man. And if there's anything else that you feel you want from a man that I didn't mention, just write it down in the comments. We can have a conversation, keep the conversation going. I pray that this video blessed you and has been beneficial to you in any way. Make sure you hit the share button. Share this with your friends and family for more marriage advice, relationship advice from your #1 relationship and spiritual coach here, Vernell Samuel. I want to see you in the next video. God bless you. Hope you subscribed. Have a blessed and phenomenal day.